All right, so if you've been paying attention to my channel this year, you guys will know that New Balance has been set in some pretty crazy ways with some of their sneaker footwear. This is a New Balance 1080 V10 with Fresh Foam X that is exceptionally good on feet. And actually, I really love this shoe. $150 price point is what you get with this shoe, which is amazing. One of the best shoes of the year. But they do have a newer version of a sneaker that also some people recommended that I give a try. So here is the box, and we have a pair of the Fresh Foam More V2s, I think that they're called. Let me look at the name. I'll get right back to you. Let's go ahead and get into the video. What is going on, guys? Hes here, CollectiveKicks.com. If you guys would like to shop this week's top sneaker deals, check the link in the description, and happy shopping. If you guys want to buy a pair of the Fresh Foam More V2s or the 1080s, or even the fuel cells and some of the other ones I have in here, I'll try to link all of them in the description. This video is kind of crazy to me though, because I never really anticipated New Balance coming out with the stuff that I really loved on feet. And it's insane to see the evolution of what they've been able to provide to people on the sneaker market. So just a throwback here. First, I did a review on these a long time ago. These are the 990 V5s with the end cap, I think is what they call the midsole. This is a really interesting shoe. It's like made in the USA and really nice old school like materials on here, suedes and whatnot, and panels. It looks like just like an older shoe, like a gentleman's shoe, like a dad shoe. But these are really comfortable, but in a different way. Like they just fit to your foot really well, and I wear these around all the time, taking the kids out, and you know, when I bike and stuff like that, these ones are on feet usually. But yeah, this is a really nice pair of sneakers, but not one that I would consider comfortable. Then you move over and you have this New Balance fuel cell technology, and this is the Rebel, and you can get these for like $70, which is insanely cheap. But I thought that these were going to be just another random pair of sneakers with new technology that was just not very good. And truth be told, when I tried these on, I was actually really impressed with the soft squishiness of the fuel cell technology. And it's really soft, and you do compress down into your steps. Very lightweight for those people wanting a really light shoe, and overall really comfortable. But then you do also have these other sneakers right here that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the Fresh Foam 1080 V10s, not the V9s, but the V10s with that Fresh Foam X. And this one was a game changer for me. As soon as I put these on, I was like, wow. The midsole was so soft and squishy and pillow-like that, like, I got that same sensation the very first time I tried on a pair of Adidas Ultra Boost 5-6 years ago. So a New Balance came out with a really good shoe. They're wide foot friendly. They have decent traction on them. The upper is nice construction. They just mold really well to my foot, at least. I love the little curvature to the shoe as well. Definitely is a shoe that I appreciate and love, and one of my favorite shoes of 2020 so far, if not my favorite comfort sneaker. Now we move over to this one, the Fresh Foam More V2, and a lot of people recommended I try this one because it does have Fresh Foam X and it is a bigger stack. This is a little bit pricier though at $165 versus the $150 of the 1080s. Got them and I tried them on immediately, and I was like, dang, there's definitely a lot of cushion on the bottom of these things. But there was a couple things I really liked, reminiscent of the 1080 V10s, but there's definitely a couple things I didn't like about this shoe. So let's go ahead and get into it. From New Balance's words, it says, the next level soft, our thickest Fresh Foam midsole offers more cushioning for more miles. It says there's a locked-in fit, ultra heel design, adapts to your foot with seamless comfort and modern look. And then it says a versatile design, breathable, lightweight upper brings comfort to your workout. The upper is kind of an interesting material. It's kind of like a fused mesh. I don't know the technical term for it, but it looks interesting because there's a white underlay underneath it, and you can actually pull that up off of the top layer. And so it's just like a little bit of extra cushioning, I guess, if you will. Then you get some extra fused material around the laces, and then it looks like a little reflective hit on the lace as well. And then a little bit more heavy-duty lace hole at the top. An odd little wave design of the shoe right here that looks like it's really non-functional, but just kind of an additional little piece that they added. Then you do have a rounded heel cup in the back. Kind of reminds you of the V10s, but honestly is a lot more firm and doesn't feel as nice as even on the V10s. You have an attached detached tongue, which is one that I love. It's attached all the way up to the middle of the foot and then detached in a regular looking tongue from there on out. This tongue is actually a little bit thinner than on the V10s as well. So not as much cushioning on the tongue or the heel cup of the shoe, in my opinion. What we really care about though is this midsole. The midsole is massive, as you could see. It's just a huge, ridiculous size midsole. One thing that I noticed right away from the difference of both of these is the shape of the midsole. This is a really big, chunky midsole. This one has a lot more curvature on the midsole. The toe points upwards, and it's all fresh foam on this one. And then as you transfer over to the bottom of the V10s, you see that there's actually different traction patterns, but you do have the raw foam exposed in some places as well. The More V2s has a lot of foam, but it's almost like you're sitting in the foam. You're not sitting on top of the foam. So as you can see, it kind of comes around the sides. But if you reach your hand on the inside, your foot actually doesn't hit the foam until right here, halfway, a quarter way down from the foam. So it's kind of like encasing your foot in the foam versus you standing on top. The sole of the More foams is different as well. It's definitely bigger and thicker, but it's not the same rubberized compound. This is actually really slippery comparison to the rubber on the V10. So not sure why they did that. The only exposed parts is right here in the middle of the shoe, and then there's a little couple waves that looks like the exposed foam on it. So I would think that this one would actually fall apart faster over time than the V10s. They are both pretty light though. I would say that the More foams actually do feel lighter in hand, probably because of the change up of that rubber on the bottom. The overall width of the More V2s is a lot bigger than the V10s over here. And I got the wide versions of both of these. So these are crazy wide. These are wide and good wide for me. These ones might be just a little bit too wide. An overall top-down view, this shoe just looks just too chunky. In fact, this one's so chunky and big that it honestly reminds me of a Hoka sneaker, not of the Fresh Foam V10s. The difference being that this one feels softer and squishier on feet, in my opinion, than the Hokas. But I'm actually waiting on some other versions of the Hokas because I heard that this one's not the softiest and squishiest. There's a couple other really good ones out there. So I'm trying to figure out which one to buy. If you guys have a suggestion of which Hoka is the best, there's two of them, like the Clifton and then another one that I can't remember the name of, that I am waiting on the next version to come out. Unfortunately, it has been delayed. But yeah, on feet, these feel really similar. They're both really big, really chunky, really flat foot, really wide foot, and overall really ridiculous cushion. But the overall traction of this one's going to be better. All in all, I think this is a great shoe, but it's not really worth the $165 over top of the $150 that you're going to get from the 1080 V10s, in my opinion. I think that the 1080 V10s feel better on my feet than the More Foam V2s, only because I like the curvature of the shoe. I think the placement of the Fresh Foam X underfoot versus on the sides and under the foot just feels better and squishier overall. Also, I feel it more in the forefoot of this shoe, and maybe it's just because of the pointed shape of the shoe, but the overall sensation on feet is much better on this shoe, in my opinion. Even the overall fit, when you try these on, the liner in the back tab and the tongue feels a lot more plush and better on feet. The soft knit material on this feels much softer on foot versus the rougher double layer that you get on these. So, I mean, in my opinion, the 1080 V10s is still king. However, if you're looking for something a little bit chunkier and wider and want something just with crazy amounts of cushion, I mean, this one is a really good shoe as well. That's my 2 cents. So if you guys own these ones or both of them, drop a comment in the comment section. Let other people know what you like or dislike about the shoe, and I'm curious to see what you guys say out there. But New Balance coming out with some great stuff, man. Love the product lines, and obviously I'm wearing a Nike shirt. I'm sure the comments are gonna be going off and saying New Balance video wearing a Nike shirt, but I'm showing you, like, I'm not, this isn't a sponsorship from New Balance. This is me buying the shoes, trying them out, and finding out what is good and what is not, for my feet at least. Everybody's feet's different. That being said, again, if you guys want to buy any of these, check the links in the description. I'll put a couple places out there. And hopefully you guys have a good rest of the day. If you guys have suggestions for other soft and squishing sneakers that you guys would like me to try out, drop a comment in the comment section and let me know. But have a good rest of the day. We'll see you guys for hopefully some more sneaker videos very soon. Peace, guys.